We all just had bars of soap with other people's pubic hair in them. Hey everybody, welcome back to Fandomly Speaking,
where each week we speak randomly about fandoms. I'm Liza.
And I'm Melissa. And this week, now this was a side quest when we did the other Cosmo episode, correct?
Okay. I don't remember.
It might have been.
I don't know. I don't know. Now that you mention it, was it?
Maybe it was. Hey guys, does anyone remember when we did this episode? It was a side. I think it was a side quest. You know what? It'll be whatever it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Look real quick.
That's all what it is. So anyway, this week we're taking another look at the amazing.
It was a side quest. You were correct.
We're
going on a side quest.
We're going on a side quest.
Here we are.
We're going on a side quest, and I'm not editing any of that out because I'm tired. So, a while back, we looked through my inheritance of the April 1972 Cosmopolitan featuring a very naked Burt Reynolds.
Yes.
And, but, I found it really interesting, so I shared it with Liza, and then we said, okay, we need to share that with everybody. And then, in that episode, we were like, hey, I wonder what was going on in April of 1982.
Yeah. Decade
We're
later.
We're going to find out.
Look at that cover. God, I love it. Now, she was very beautiful on the cover of the 72 version, but that 80s cover, look at that.
I mean, this is, this was us, okay? Mm-hmm. How old were you in 1982?
Oh, no, I was toddler. I was in diapers, but I love it. I was like when you in the 1972 version. So you were 14 in this version, right? Yeah. Yes, you were still young.
So
you
I'm
wearing that, Melissa.
No, I'm a sophomore in high school. I'm putting on brown eyeliner as lip liner, and then putting in some other color because I don't know why it didn't occur to us to buy brown lip liner. Hair was different. There were a lot of things that changed. So that's what we're doing today.
Yes.
And so, Liza, I don't think there'll be spoilers, right?
Probably not. I don't think there's any spoilers today for any fandom stuff. So maybe if you don't know a lot about the 80s.
Yeah, you're going to find out. Just a warning, we are two genx autistic women, and it just goes all over the place.
If you couldn't tell, oh my God.
Particularly disorganized today for some reason.
It's great. I love today.
It's good. It's good. And also I can't decide what my body temperature is. So I'm just, it's spring in the Northeast.
Yeah,
it's either freezing or it's 80 degrees.
It's just hot down here and yellow. It's very yellow. Everything's yellow.
Yeah, we're not yellow yet. We've got a few more weeks before it starts to get really, but there's buds on the trees. It's exciting. It's exciting.
It makes me sneeze and makes my eyes itch. Now, is this model on the front of the Cosmo this time? Is that someone we know? Is she? I can't tell.
I don't know if she was a super. I don't think she was a supermodel, but there were Christy Brinkley was in some of the ads in here. Yeah. So we were just starting to get there. We didn't really hit, I think, peak supermodel until I was like a senior, so 1985, 86, 87. That's when all of a sudden the Cindy Crawfords and the Naomi
late
Campbells.
80s, early 90s supermodels were celebrities.
They were. They took on a whole new status. They were in the in music videos. Famously, they were in the I Want Your Sex video with George Michael. So anyway, so before we dive into this amazing time capsule, what'd you do this week in geeking, girlfriend?
Do you have good weeks and bad weeks in geeking? I did not have a great week. So last week I talked about a book. I won't even re-mention the name because I ended up absolutely hating it. The book that I was reading last week. It was one of the worst books I've ever read, I think. And it sucked because my daughter and I were talking about, have you ever read a book or watched something where the story was so good, but the writing was so bad. Mm-hmm. And you thought to yourself, if literally any other author had written this, it would have been better. This was a great story. Terrible. So and then I'm reading right now, The 7-Year Itch by Amy Dawes. I read the first one last year. I didn't know it was a series. So I'm just reading. It's a contemporary romance.
Yeah.
But I did start playing Tomodachi Life this week.
Yay!
So
I have to download it. I forgot that it became available now. Yeah. Because this is the first time I'm going to play it.
Me too. It becomes available April 16th, but they have a free demo, and you can start playing it, and then whatever you do, the save data rolls over, so you can just start your island now.
Oh, cool. And your people. Because I know that's... Oh, so there goes my son walking around the backyard. Like, Tomodachi Life is one of his favorite all-time video games, so when we got the news at a Nintendo Direct that we were getting a new Tomodachi Life, like, his head exploded. And
it is so interesting. Like, I've never played it. I did obviously have the Wii, and so I made a bunch of Miis, but
yes,
it was so funny last night because they talk, and it was like, "Hi, I am Liza." It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to change your name to something else. That's weird.
Maybe. I don't know. That's weird. Yeah. Well, that's some pretty good geeking, though.
Yeah, pretty good geeking, though.
Yeah, that was a pretty good week in geeking.
So fun.
So last week, the next day after we filmed, I went to see Project Hail Mary.
I know. I'm so jealous still.
And I think this is the only time in my life I think I have ever said this. It is a perfect film.
Oh, so
I have no notes.
That's great.
And as I said last week, huge fan of the book, huge fan of the audiobook. So I really wanted it to just not destroy the legacy.
Yes. All of us fans would have rioted if that movie sucked.
And I got to tell you, they had to make a lot of changes because of the structure of the book, which there's, and I remember thinking the whole time, like, how are they going to make this a movie? They did, and they did not lose the core of any of the story. Or
how did your husband like it?
He loved it. He said he thinks it's the best movie he's ever seen. I mean... and the thing is that so many people are coming out of the movie with that feeling. I have not seen a negative review.
And it's like, well, you could have read it, dude.
Yeah.
Become insufferable, Melissa. Become insufferable.
No. I'm like, I really need you to listen to the audiobook, though.
Right?
Because then in the car, I'm like, okay, well, here's what you didn't see in the movie. Okay, so and there's the scene that they didn't do, and I was hoping they were going to do it with the courtroom, but I understand why they couldn't. And he's just like, oh, God, she's going to do this all the way home, isn't she?
All the way, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah, and all night, too, after the movie. I was like, oh, you know what else? No. So I did that, and then I told you guys I am all over the place today. I had to go give blood this morning. So I had to, fast, and then, so I just had caffeine about 30 minutes ago.
I absolutely
hate it. So
it's
just kicking in.
They always ask me, they're like, you're fasted, right? I'm like, sure I am. Let's say that I am.
Oh, no, I'm a very good girl. I follow exactly the rules. I had a sip.
Well, my husband was in medical for 20 plus years. Yeah. He's like, you can have your tea or coffee. They don't care. You just can't have food with sugar and sugars.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, nope. I'm following the rules, damn it. Anyway, so the other thing that I have been doing and absolutely loving is I started rereading Throne of Glass a few weeks back. I am now, I'm almost finished with, I think, Empire of Storms. I can never remember the names of these.
I think it's book 5, right?
Book 5, right? I'm almost finished with book 5, which means that the next book is Kale. The Kale book.
Yay.
It's too much Kale. All the Kale, all the time. And I can't stand him.
Yeah.
So, and I forgot how much I love Lorcan and Alid. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, you know, Sarah, you could have done a Lorcan book instead of a Kale book, and we would have all been okay with that.
No one needed the Kale story.
Nobody did.
I mean, his girlfriend, what is her name?
I don't remember, but yeah.
You know what the other thing about this guy is? He gets so many women, and he's such an asshole. Because
that tends to be the way it is in real life, too.
He got Selena, when she was Selena, right? He would never get Aelin. Then he got somebody else. Oh, Nesrin. Which you think she's going to be his... But then no, he ends up with the girl who fixes him at the Torah Sesame. But I'm like, how does this keep up? And I'm grinding my way through season 12 of Supernatural, and it's going to take a long time because it's the Asmodeus and Cousin Oliver, aka Jack.
Cousin
Susan.
Oliver. Yes, Cousin Oliver.
So it's been a bit of a week for me. But yeah.
Well, I love it though. You're really tearing through Supernatural.
Tearing through Throne of Glass, because I've been feeling like such dog shit that I am spending about 8 or 9 hours a day in a recliner. And for anybody out there who thinks, wow, I wish I could do that, when it's not your choice. Like, I think this weekend I'm going to redo my whole corner where my recliner is and stuff, because it's becoming a really depressing place now.
Your depression corner.
It's my depression corner.
I don't like that.
No, yesterday I was like, well, let me go back to my prison. And I was like, oh no, it can't
I don't like
be
that.
No. So I got to spruce it up. I got to clean it up.
You need string lights.
Maybe get a slip cover, something, because it's really starting to get to me. All right, that's enough about me.
No, it's not. This whole thing is about us, Melissa.
Yes, but that was all about me.
Well, I mean, so.
What's going on? So, Liza, how's your health?
No. Oh. I had a colonoscopy. Want to talk about that?
That's right. Yeah.
When you get our age. Oh, God.
I know. And then your friends ask you, so how did it go? Did they find anything? And you're like, yeah, they did, but it's fine. It's not cancer, so whatever. I mean, I don't know. They cut them out, they burned them. I don't know.
Yeah, they send you a thing that, like, we remove something, it could become cancer. I'm like, according to you guys, it all could be cancer. So
yeah,
apparently, if you leave those things in, they always become cancer. So that doesn't tell me squat. Thanks.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true, by the way, because then everybody would have colon cancer, because almost everybody has polyps or internal hemorrhoids.
Yes, everyone has them, and they cut them out, and they're like, these could have become, and I looked up the little term, like what they call them, and it says they're always benign, but they will become cancer if left alone. And I'm like, will they? You know, none of my family has ever had colon cancer, but everyone's had polyps all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
I
is
have
a fun
internal hemorrhoids, so that's exciting.
Me too! Yay! Yes. We're the internal hemorrhoid sisters.
Yes! So fun!
And my favorite thing is they give you a printout. Yeah, they give you a printout with the picture of it. It's like, I could put that just on the wall. Yay! This is what I've ever wanted to see, is a picture of the inside of my butthole.
No, I really don't want that. And by the way, so if you think, guys, let me do it. I'm gonna de-influence you. You know that poop in a box, that Cologuard
Oh God.
thing? Okay, let me tell you about the scam of the Cologuard, because my doctor was like, because I had a really bad prep experience where I almost died before my last colonoscopy. I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it right now. And she's like, will you do Cologuard, which is where you poop in a box? I'm like, fine, I will poop in a box for you. Just leave me alone. Well, the pooping in a box is a whole procedure. It comes with a whole device you have to put on the toilet. It's a whole thing. Yep. So I send it in, and I get a letter back that says, well, you might have cancer. And I'm like, what? And then I go and I research it, and it turns out absolutely 100% of the time, if you have internal hemorrhoids, Cologuard will come back testing as a positive. And I'm like, my doctor knows that I have had to have procedures done up my butthole because of internal hemorrhoids. Christmas Eve, emergency butthole procedure.
I'm not laughing. It's just... It's relatable, you know? This is very relatable content, Melissa.
I came home. You know what? Let me tell you something. We told you we were Gen X. You know what Gen Xers are doing right now?
We're
colonoscopy prep.
That's right.
That's what they're doing.
Because the youngest Gen X, me, is 45. The youngest Gen X at 45 is when every one of you needs to schedule your colonoscopy. Every one of you.
Yeah, and I know we're joking about it.
My husband also hasn't done it. He hasn't done it. He pooped in a box, and I'm like, you know that doesn't work, right?
My husband's 60 and he won't go do it. And I'm like, you are asleep, dude.
The only thing I was really proud of, the whole entire waiting room when I went to get mine done was just other dudes. It was men. It was men
good.
in there getting them done. I'm like,
because for some reason they won't do it.
I don't blame them. I don't want to do it ever again either.
No. And colorectal cancer, it's on the rise, probably because of our diets. I don't know. Like, we can't ignore it. So get your colonoscopy, even if it's embarrassing, uncomfortable.
Best nap ever.
Oh, it's real good. Like,
I woke up and I swear to God, I'm not making this up. It's not even funny. It's not a joke. I woke up dreaming about the big, beautiful obituary. I woke up, I thought he was dead. And I told my nurse that, and she was just like,
I don't know how to
like,
tell
is
you
he
this.
dead?
Please. I wake up every morning like
Put
that.
me back under, Doc.
Just more propofol, please.
All right.
Michael Jackson, my ass. I cannot anymore. I just can't.
I almost spit that everywhere. Woo! Okay.
That'll clean your sinuses.
Oh my God.
So
okay.
anyway,
we haven't even started talking about a magazine yet.
Yeah, all right. So now let's talk about Cosmo.
Holy God. Okay.
So the biggest change I noticed between 1972 and 1982 is also, I believe, one of the most important. No douche ads.
So we figured out that was bad.
Ads. So now you sent me a clip.
Yeah, of Nancy Wheeler. Not Nancy Wheeler. Mama Wheeler.
Mama, and what was she called? What was she, the last
She was
douche
the douche
girl?
girl. Yeah,
She was the last douche girl.
It was that ad that you and I were talking about. The I don't feel so fresh, Mom. And it was her.
But they were on a boat. What?
They were on a boat. And she was, I don't feel so. But you know what I noticed about when I watched the whole ad that they showed? It said, whatever brand that douche was, has vinegar and water and a touch of baking soda. I'm like, vinegar and baking soda make water. So you just douche with water. Like, what the fuck? They cancel each other out completely.
So basically, yeah. And you don't even need to, as we discussed at length in our previous episode, because in 1972, not only were there 1,000 douche ads in the Cosmopolitan magazine, there was even like an electro douche machine that so you could stop douching like your grandma. So we go from
douche like your grandmother.
Why do you douche like your grandmother? To we're not douching.
Yeah.
No, we are not douching.
Like
we are doing this. We're doing whatever this is. We are doing big earrings, lots of short hair,
lots of big hair.
But so the interesting piece here is the cover. You have a picture of the cover.
I have it.
Okay. All right. So this I find really interesting. Cosmopolitan. 50 to 70% of wives are unfaithful. How they manage it and with whom?
Since when? What the? Where did this come? Who did they ask this to? What group of swingers did they ask that to?
Never in 1982. 50 to 70%.
How long have I been married? 23 years, something like that. And so I've known a lot of married women. None, like what? Maybe 2%. And women, we talk. We know all the shit.
I don't. You know what? You're right. In my whole life, I have never, outside of my mother, I have never known a woman to be cheating on her spouse.
I've known a few, but it's not like 50 to 70%. It's a rare thing that you come across. You know, like, what the heck?
So, and I
don't even think 50 to 70% of husbands are doing that.
No. And I didn't read the whole article, to be quite honest. It's a very lengthy article, and I might at some point, I don't know, maybe get really high and read it because I couldn't read it because I started reading it and I was like, what is this bullshit? She said that once she started asking people about it, like coworkers and different people she knew, first they started saying that they knew a person who did. And then it turned out that they were the woman who did.
All right.
And we're in this weird inflection point. It's 1982. AIDS has just started to, because 1982 was the year my dad had the open heart surgery, and that was right in the middle of them not knowing. So like they were marking blood vials Haitian because they thought Haitian people brought it into America. Like they had no idea where it came from. So, so we haven't really, but we are about to start purity culture. The moral majority is starting to make waves. Yeah. Reagan is starting to have an impact. And what's interesting, right? Now Liza and I look back. as many people do. And we know that this was the seed of now.
Sure.
The
Absolutely.
complete disaster we're in right now started
all
in 1980.
With Reagan. It all goes back to Reagan.
And the worst part
Don't
was,
get me started.
well, not the worst part, please. I loved Ronald Reagan. I was
of course,
raised to
white
love
suburbanite did. Yes, of course. And the funniest thing was
trickle-down economics was yes.
The funniest thing is when you think about it, the last president in the 70s, little Jimmy Carter, he was a Southern Baptist, yet still it wasn't until we got Reagan from Hollywood that it all went south. And we all, you're right, it turned purity culture. And
well, see, here's the thing. Jimmy Carter was a Southern Baptist with Jesus in his heart. And he lived like that. And we know that because when he stopped being president, he kept living like that. The man was in his 90s building houses for Habitat for Humanity.
He absolutely did. One of the things that I love the most is my little town library where I live has his Habitat for Humanity belt with his tool belt in it. They have it on display because we gave it to him and he wore it all those years and then he gave it back when he wasn't able to do it anymore. So they have it displayed.
Yeah. So it was just... And you can see that. We can see that here somewhat in the articles, but really, the most of it is in the advertising, just like it was last time.
Oh, I can't wait. Okay.
What exactly,
I didn't look on purpose because I want to experience
what are
it along
we telling people? What are we telling people? And then I am going to get us... I'm going to look for the 1992 and 2002 because I think they were still publishing paper versions. Like, I don't know.
Sure, in
after
the 90s
that,
for sure.
Yeah, so I definitely want to get that. But one of the things, and I don't think I just scanned this because I think it wasn't. So, okay, the maiden form woman, you never know where she'll show up.
I also love going to parties in my skivvies.
And this was a campaign that just went on forever. The festivities begin when she arrives in her satiny, lacy, sweet nothings.
Well, I bet it does.
I bet it.
What kind of party are we going to?
I don't know, but the idea was like supposedly we feel so strong when we're in our underwear, if they're made in form. If they're made in form. The other thing that was on the cover, though, by the way, I forgot. The reasons men and women are raging at each other all of a sudden. Okay, and the reason is because the article's stupid. The reason is. Well, it's because we're, working together and it's just the challenges of, being this modern woman and you're working with men, you're having relationships with men. So we're planting the seeds of you wanted this. This is what you wanted, ladies. It's what you wanted. Christina Onassis. So the Kennedy clan was still very big. It was still a very big thing. Artificial insemination, surrogate mothers, and test tube babies, the adoption alternatives. Because even though you are a liberated, powerful, working woman, you still need to produce children.
Oh, is this when the whole, adoption racket started?
The adoption racket, this is when we had...
what would become... what we're dealing with now in the files with the rings of kids that they're just bringing in... adopting left and right under the table.
This is when we started adopting kids. Yeah, we started adopting kids from Russia and from Asia, China. And it's really sad because a lot of times the people who were doing these adoptions, they just wanted a family. They just wanted a child, but they had no idea sometimes that they were getting them from places that although they should have, I knew somebody who adopted 2 kids from Russia, and part of the whole process, you're told how much cash to bring for bribes and how much you have to bribe the officials.
Sure.
It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, we started to, so it was in the 80s that we had the first lawsuit over a test tube baby.
Yep.
Because the surrogate was like, nah, I want this baby.
Yeah. Right.
So then we have, and it is actually, this is when it's again, language changed too. When a first date turns into social rape.
Yeah.
So we're not calling it date rape yet. We're calling it social rape. And one girl's account. We're not going to go into depth at all on that one because I read the article and it was really traumatizing. And
wow.
I could not believe how graphic it was. But then I remembered being a young person, a preteen and a teen, and how very graphic, both in books and in help articles in magazines like that, they were about rape.
Yes.
I was terrified, absolutely terrified and horrified by these things that they were publishing. And it's it was shocking to me because we don't do that to people anymore. We don't sensationalize trauma.
We have a name for it now. And I think it's true. We call it trauma porn. They were printing that because people wanted to read it. Yes. They were doing that because there were people who really like to read that kind of thing.
I mean, they put it on the cover. They put it on the cover because it sells. Mm-hmm. And people read that article. Like, ooh. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Nothing fails like success. The strange anxieties and depressions of those we envy. So we're going now we're going to start to explore. Well, now you're doing everything you wanted to isn't quite what you thought it was, is it?
I love that we have the 1 week sugar-free diet to give you a natural high, and we haven't changed in 44 years.
We're still doing that. We're still
demonizing sugar and.
Yep. Now we're gonna try and do this like professionals, everyone.
Oh God.
Okay. All right. So you see this here? All right. This lady up here with this hair and these leggings and this outfit. Mm-hmm. This is the level of beauty and style we were going.
She's
for.
Great.
Look at her fucking hair.
I love it. She's amazing.
The coming season's sizzliest resort wear is all dots. Dots.
Is she wearing a leotard?
Yeah. And it's the kind that has the strap that goes under your foot, so it's in your shoe with you.
Yeah, saddle. What do they call it? Saddle pants or something like that?
Something like that. They were so uncomfortable.
They try to bring those back like every 5 years or something like that.
And everybody remembers that's really uncomfortable.
I don't know if this was a Southern thing. Maybe this was, I never know like what was the trends in the South and what was the trends everywhere else. Yeah. But we only wore them with Mootsie Tootsies. Shoes.
Mootsie Tootsies.
The shoes. They were like, I don't know a single person down here who didn't have Mootsie Tootsie shoes. Like you wore them with these saddle strap pants. And they're like little ballet flats pretty much.
Oh, wait, were they black and they just had like a little Mary Jane strap?
No, they didn't have any straps. They usually just had a tiny little I don't know, like a leather string bow at the front, but they were just little ballet flat shoes. Okay. And we all wore them with these pants. Everyone had a pair in every color.
And your feet
wearing the shoes with no socks.
Coming out of your shoes though, right? Yeah. And the backs of your heels were always bleeding?
Of course.
Okay.
Right.
All right, so we understand.
Yeah.
So that's what we were aspiring to. Down here in the lower left corner, there's you could buy. This is something you could send away for. Sew your own ethnic classics.
Still the same as 1972.
Nothing's changed. We're still not at all getting it. So a delicate kimono.
The kimono that was the Oriental favorites or something in the 72 version, and now it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm. So we're still, and the other one is just folkwear. You could just, I don't know, loose patterns, folkwear, so clothing. And then in the lower right corner, I don't even know what's going on. I don't know. I think those women are supposed to be in a beauty salon, and those are their capes.
Yeah, they're smocks, I guess.
If they're getting their hair real big. They're doing a thing where they're getting their hair big. Yeah. Oh, wow. But nice. I don't, that's a good one. All right, so next, this is, look at this.
That's amazing. I love it.
Yes, ninja, conquer your heroes.
Perfume?
It's a fragrance. Yes, this is a perfume.
You just know that smelled horrible.
Well, because I think it's a knockoff version of opium or cinnabar.
If there's anything that I remember just viscerally about the 80s, it's that they stank. There was not a single perfume in the 80s that was worth wearing, but my God, were we piling it on. Like, it was awful.
And it was all spicy and like cloying.
Floral. So much floral.
And just like in your face. Because people smelled bad still.
there was a lot of cigarette smoking.
It was still a lot. Yeah.
A lot of that.
And then people used to
nobody was douching anymore.
No, so now it's, you know how you stank when you don't use your Uber douche, whatever that thing was. Remember the one that came in with the different flavors? It's like raspberry,
champagne, and yeah.
Like why?
Yeah, man.
Why? So,
I will say he has that male model has a very like modern face. I don't know if that makes any sense.
He's, what
she
he
looks very
like?
80s, but he looks like a today's model.
Well, he looks like he's on the cover of a romance novel back in the 80s.
I'm so sorry to say this out loud. He looks like he's looks maxing.
Oh, he is absolutely looks maxing.
Forgive me, everyone.
A male model.
Yeah, he looks maxing.
Yeah, so that looks like a lot of fun. So the next ad. Now this is an ad for a book. You ready?
I didn't know this was an ad. I'm looking at it like, what?
You thought it was an article. I mean, it's one of those ads that looks like it's trying to be an article.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you ready? The G-Spot. It's a source of extraordinary sexual pleasure. This is a book that you can send away for $11.95 plus $1.35 postage and handling. And you send a check or money order to these people, and they will send you the G-Spot and other recent discoveries about human sexuality.
That's a deal. Let me go ahead and clip that out and we'll send it off.
The G-Spot is a bean-shaped, varying from size of a dime to a quarter. It is apparently found in every woman. Okay, wait, let me read that again because I didn't read that wrong. The G-Spot is bean-shaped, varying from the size of a dime to a quarter. It is apparently found in every woman. What is the apparently in that sentence?
Apparently, because they can't find
everybody has one.
Because a dude wrote this book and he can't find it. He's like, well, apparently, we don't know that this is true, but maybe.
I just remember reading in one of these magazines them explaining that that the G-Spot was an area up in there. Swear to God, Liza, that felt like corduroy.
Well, I mean, okay. So, you have never thought about it, but all right.
I mean, corduroy. I mean, I'm not going to get too graphic here, but I apparently
never once thought about that in my life, but all
do not have one because there ain't nothing up in there that feels like corduroy.
Like, I guess I grasp what they're trying to say, but what?
I guess they were trying to say it was like ridged or lumpy. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. It's named after Ernst Grafenberg, the first modern physician to describe it. And when properly stimulated, the G-spot will often produce an intense orgasm, sometimes a series of orgasms, accompanied in some women by the ejaculation of a semen-like fluid. This is a book about how to make her squirt.
Yay! The 80s were so revolutionary.
Like, how about you just spend any time at all with that area?
Maybe let's just talk to her. Like, maybe let's ask her.
Let's just, put in some effort. I don't know. But you could buy this book. And I think it's interesting because they tried to make this scientific, but in the most sensational way ever. Because how else are you going to send your money order for $11.95 plus $1.35 shipping and handling?
Which in the 80s, that's kind of expensive.
It really is. I mean, that would be like a $40 book now.
Yeah, probably. Right. That's really expensive.
So yeah. The next one is
my corduroy spot.
I know. And that never left my head because, and you're like, what? What are you even trying to describe right now? I know what corduroy feels like. And I don't get it. So you've come a long way, baby. I will tell you, Virginia Slims lights, they were good.
Now listen, I said in the 72 Cosmo that there was I don't think it was Virginia Slims, but it was one of the Slim Lady cigarettes. And I'm like, I have never smoked a day in my life, but I want one of these cigarettes right now.
The
like
Eve
it made
120s.
me want to smoke this. Yes. There's nothing about this ad that makes me want to smoke.
Yeah.
What is this ad? Look at her. She's going to church camp.
I know. Look at how preppy she is.
Oh
and
my
you
God.
can get your 1983 Virginia Slims Book of Days. So, like, your day planner is a cigarette brand.
Are you serious? Is that what that says?
It's a book of days. It's your own personal engagement planner.
Okay.
To note,
Look at her saddle shoes.
Look at those saddle shoes. Look at the whole outfit. And I think those are like Argyle-ish socks. And she's holding a flower, not a cigarette. Notice, she's not holding a cigarette.
Nothing about this makes me want to smoke, man. I'm telling you.
A day planner and a rose. You've come a long way, baby. And you could send away for this day planner, which I kind of want. I enclose my $1 check or money order and 2 end labels from any pack of Virginia Slims.
Can you imagine your grandma
Slims,
going to get a money order for her Virginia Slims book of days? Give me that. Give me that.
You know she did order. Because I'll tell you, those little purse-sized day planners were. Every woman had those. Everyone. And every year they would transfer all of the phone numbers and addresses that they had in the back of last year's into this. This was like a whole process. And then they would fill in all the birthdays. And they were always trying to get them for free. The bank gave them away for free sometimes. Like, they knew how to get the free ones. Sometimes they were from funeral homes. And that one I never understood. My grandmother had a couple of those little appointment books that came from a funeral home. Why?
That's actually hilarious.
Why?
Your days are numbered.
They also used to give out smelling salts. They had these cute little plastic containers.
Really? I've never heard that in my life.
That had 2... You know those smelling salts that you would crack and hold under somebody's nose?
Yeah.
They had these little cases. They were little plastic cases, and they had 2 of those in it. And I guess that was like a party favor at Wakes.
I've never heard that.
Because my grandmother had a whole drawer full of them. And as a kid, every time I was fainting, because I probably have POTS, somebody, was constantly going into Grandma's drawer and cracking one of those under my face. Yeah. And if you didn't have any of those, you had to just snort the bottle of ammonia, which was really not a good idea. It'll keep you from fainting, though.
I have to say, though, I feel like they were, I'm sure this is not true, that take all of this with a grain of salt. They were happier back in the 80s. We get nothing. We get nothing because I want to smoke a cigarette and tease my hair up real high and destroy the ozone. I really don't, but I'm just saying we're in the like health movement. We get nothing. Even stuff like diet drinks or they're so bad you can't have anything. So
no, I know. I feel like we were at the height here in 1982 of ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, right.
We really thought we were gonna have it all.
Yeah.
And we did not even stop to think about how anything we did was affecting ourselves, the environment, or anyone around us.
Also, keep in mind that you were only 14. I was still a toddler. You and I weren't thinking any of this. This was our parents who didn't give a shit what they left.
No. Thank you, boomers. Thanks,
boomers.
Thank you for all that secondhand smoke. Secondhand smoke. Thank you.
Well, if they're hoarders like mine were, they probably have secondhand soap too.
I've been following some family on Instagram that only flushes their toilet once a week.
Oh my God.
They have a poop knife.
Stop it.
There's lots of people online who have a poop knife.
A lot more than I ever imagined when I was, young and innocent. I never imagined such a thing. And I'm like, oh, this is a common occurrence. You gotta pick your families that you marry into really well. You don't want to marry into a poop knife family. Like,
God, I would run screaming. I would be like, I need an annulment. I did not know about the poop knife. They hid it from me until the first Thanksgiving when we were married.
No.
But yeah, so I think like for Lent, they're trying not to flush it at all, and I don't understand.
Oh my God.
I don't
understand. As a segue, the very next page that you have scanned is spoils of divorce. Is it the poop knife?
You have a poop knife.
Oh my God.
I didn't read this article.
Well, please, we don't have to read the article, but read the blurb at the beginning.
The beginning.
Loud.
So the spoils of divorce. So now we're going to get divorces because
this is very 80s, this blurb.
War of the Roses. When a marriage ends, fights over who gets the Mercedes or the microwave can be nastier than full-scale war.
The Mercedes or the microwave.
Consider these ways to keep hostilities down and still come away with everything that's rightfully yours. So this is now the new version of feminism is when he cheats on you, although 50 to 70% of wives apparently are cheating.
Yeah. Okay.
But when he cheats on you, you get to take him for everything he's worth.
Sure.
And they started to change laws in the 80s because of the way laws were written. Women were getting half of everything when they got divorced. And so different states now have different laws. It's like California, I think, is one of the last community property states where it's 50-50, unless you have a prenup. So after the 80s, then we get in the 90s and we start talking prenuptial agreements because us money-grubbing women are, we don't want to help you build your career and your life and do literally everything so that you can leave us for a younger model once you're established.
Sure.
And we don't get anything from what we built. But it's all our fault.
Of course.
It's not your fault at all. So yeah, this is basically about, some dumb shit about a fake couple that, fought over stuff. And then, it talks about things like, we all know about now, people hiding assets. Like it tells you, your husband might be trying to hide stuff from you. So these are the signs that he might be getting ready to divorce you.
But everyone back in the 80s had a Mercedes. And, we were going to fight over the microwave and the divorce.
Yeah. But remember what also happened in the 80s? So we had Ronald Reagan, Gordon Gekko, Wall Street. Greed is good.
Oh, Wall Street in the 80s was something to behold.
Every man, boy, child I knew wanted to be Gordon Gekko. They wanted to be one of those Wall Street pricks because they were rolling in money, cars, cocaine,
drugs,
and women.
Yes, right. It was something else.
They were living a life of unmatched debauchery in the 80s.
And what are they all? Boomers. That was all boomers.
Yes.
That was boomer dudes is what they were.
And you wonder why now we're finding out, 40 years later, that all of those men harassed, assaulted, and abused women and minorities constantly. Like the Epstein class. Greed is good. Gordon Gekko would be in the Epstein files.
Of course.
But he's a man that every young man that was my age in 1982 and 85 and 90, they all wanted to be him. And so that helps you to understand how the hell did we get here?
Right. Yeah.
Because that behavior was not only accepted, it was expected of a man. That's disgusting. But
that's true.
But the good news is this new typewriter, they're going to like you so much. Because...
But what about my Olivetti?
Remember the poor Olivetti girl? No one liked her at work because she kept making boo-boos and oopsies on the computer, but now that she types better, everybody likes her, and some of the men really are attracted to her.
Right.
Whole new world, people. Our new typewriter has more memory than... What's their names? You know who we mean. The one that sells the most typewriters. They're trying to say, more than not Olivetti. At this point, it's probably IBM.
That's
the IBM Selectric. Give me one of those now, and I would take over the world. We would not believe how fast I was on an IBM Selectric typewriter.
Xerox.
Yeah, so they started coming out with, and I worked on one of these, typewriters that had a memory in them.
Yeah.
So it would remember like a couple of sentences. So the theory was that you could go back and correct it before it actually types onto the paper. It was like a micro word processor.
Right.
And it was more trouble than it was ever worth. But this is it can automatically erase what's been typed. And it looks like it was erased. Let me tell you. It looks like because it just types. It has a white ribbon that types exactly over the letters that you fucked up. It's it's no better than white out. Just white it out and copy it, and then it'll look.
But honestly, though, this ad is awful.
Yes.
I mean, look at this ad. The Olivetti girl was better than that ad.
The Olivetti girl made me interested. This one, I'm just like,
awful.
So when you need a new typewriter, don't settle for an ordinary electric. No, you want a memory writer. You'll be able to add as much memory as you need it without changing machines. Sure you will. And I like how they just keep saying you know who. Like they won't say IBM. It's like Voldemort. He who shall not be named.
That's hilarious.
Wink, wink,
that's so funny.
Nudge, nudge. And it's funny
I
because
wouldn't have
probably
even known who it was.
You wouldn't know, right?
No.
I knew it was IBM. Yeah. It handles margins, tabs, column alignment, indents, centering, and underlining with unbelievable ease.
It's like, which is hilarious because I assume that they're type there that they're wanting you to see how great it is, but it just makes it hard to read.
It's really bad. It's a really
bad
ad. Yeah. And it's like, but once again, typewriter ads in the Cosmopolitan.
I know but you see what it says, it's for secretaries because in the 80s there were still a lot of secretaries. They were still secretaries all the way through the 90s.
Go watch the
admin
movie.
Assistants.
Yeah, no.
Until the 2000s.
Yep. Go watch the movie 9 to 5. That came out at this time
in
period.
the 80s. That's right.
And you will see a room full of women.
That's right.
And that's what my mom did. My mom was a secretary. And I was a secretary before they called us admins.
Admins. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you used to go into a man's office.
And the thing is, admins is what is turned into. It was administrative assistants or admin assistant. We were not admins. We were the assistant to the admin.
Yeah, right? I don't even know what we were administratively assisting someone.
Right. Yeah. And that's, now it's admins. Oh, yeah.
You don't even need us. It's like, make your own damn flight arrangements. Why do you need me to do this for you? You're so important you can't book a flight. Come on.
Well, it's office mommies.
Yeah,
office mommies.
That's what an admin is. She's your office mommy.
Office mommies.
Very annoying. Okay, so next, a very interesting development.
I will be honest with you. I thought that picture at the bottom was a sex toy. I was very concerned at first.
Actually, now that you're telling me that, it does sort of look like it.
I had to zoom in real close, and I'm like, "Oh, that's a bar of soap." I guess I don't know what that is, but
well, actually, I don't think it's a bar of soap. It's a liquid. I think it's a liquid. It's so this
body
is what was happening. Body wash started.
Our first body wash.
Baby's first body wash, but because they didn't think we would be able to understand it, it is shaped like a bar of soap.
In 82? I didn't know that. I for sure, and this is so stupid to even talk about, didn't have my first body wash until like 92? And it was revolutionary. I'd never seen it before.
It was in the 90s because we were a dial orange bar.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was the grossest thing. It came with, I don't even remember what the brand was, but it came with a sponge. Like you bought the body wash and it came with its own sponge and it had a little hole in the center, so you squirted it in there and you were supposed to, and then I ended up with like, I don't know, impetigo all over me at like 12 years old, and the doctor was like, "What are you bathing with?" I'm like, "The sponge that came with the body wash." She was like, "Stop that. Throw that away. That's disgusting."
But I mean, that was, you bought bacteria.
Yeah. Right. You bought it with the thing. It's just full of gross bacteria. Yuck. The 90s.
I forgot that there was a time when liquid, like shower gel body wash, like it wasn't an option.
No.
We all just had bars of soap with other people's pubic hair in them. Because you need to understand, the entire family was using one bar of soap. And I'm fairly certain that the way my brothers used it,
they just
went with the actual bar of soap, and then
gross
with the bar of soap, and then you just shove it on the little shelf that gets so disgusting with soap goo.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's
and
right.
then also, because I lived with boys, they also didn't rinse off the soap after they used it. So, like, the soap
is very personal, Melissa.
It would be dirty. It would have dirt. It would be like, I'd be like, how are you not rinsing it off after you shoved it up your butt? What are you doing? And
so I found out.
We didn't all have our own bar of soap.
I found out like last year, maybe. I don't know. I found out like last year or the year before that a lot. I'm looking into the camera.
I'm just going to do this. Oh, wait. I'm going to do this for right now. There you go.
A lot of you white people are not using washcloths. I was disgusted and horrified and upset. And I thought that was made up. I was like, that's not true. That can't possibly be true. Melissa, you take the soap and
I take the soap. I put the soap in my hand. I'll go like this.
Oh my God. I thought this was made up. Melissa.
I go top down, and then I do my privates, and then I do my feet. Now, mind you, I'm using completely different stuff from the neck up.
I am scandalized.
Now, my son and my husband like the plastic loofah. I think they're disgusting because they get all your skin and shit in them.
Oh my God.
Are you boiling it every day?
I really thought that was made up. I thought that was not. I was like, that's not true. I don't.
No, we weren't raised to use washcloths.
Well, and I wondered if this was regional, because I've never in my life not used a washcloth. My mother would never have let us bathe without a washcloth. My grandmother is always, jerking us up as babies by the hand and washing us with a rough washcloth. And I never went to a friend's house where they didn't give you a washcloth with it. I've never heard of this. And then I heard this like last year or something. I'm like, that's just not true. And I said something in a comment, like on a video, and I got thousands of, that's disgusting. Washcloths are gross. How dirty are you that you need it? And I'm like, oh, that was true. I had no idea. What the fuck?
I have seen it as a dear white people thing. Like, how are you all not using washcloths?
This is one of those moments where I'm like, oh, I'm white, but not that white. Like, what? This blew my mind. I didn't know that.
So what do you do with the washcloth afterwards?
It goes in the hamper.
Wet?
Yeah, well, sure. I mean, we have an actual hamper for towels and washcloths and things.
But doesn't it get all musty in there if it's wet?
They get washed once or twice a week. You use a new one every time.
Okay, well, that's good. Okay.
Like, I have a stack in my bathroom like this, and my daughter has her stack of washcloths. My husband prefers the plastic loofah thing because he likes the way it, but no, that's just hilarious. Y'all are so
do you
funny.
use it on your face?
Yes, first. You go face first.
But isn't it rough on your face?
Yes, Melissa, it's rough. And like, the cheaper the washcloth, the rougher it is. It's like, yes, get it. I mean, have you ever been like to a Korean spa and you feel like completely like they've just exfoliated you to hell and back?
I've never let anyone wash me since I was a baby. Yeah.
And you need, like, that's what I feel like. I'm like in my own Korean. Just wash that shit off.
Really?
Get it off. Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
That is the funniest conversation we've ever had. To me, I've never.
Hey, at least neither one of us has a poop knife. I think that's important.
No, I'm very regular.
I'm like, what is the purpose of the poop knife? And then it's like, well, when it's too big and it won't go down. I'm like,
never have I ever experienced
What kind of toilet are you pooping into? Or
never. How
are you pooping? Are you pooping something that doesn't break? I mean, I don't even understand the poop knife. So anyway, liquid soap became a thing.
Or shower sex toys. Either way. Whatever you want to go with.
Oh my God. Okay. So now we're going to go from this to the very controversial Miss Kathy Rigby. An Olympic gymnast, Olympic gold medalist gymnast.
Hey.
And what changed also a lot is we got really into sanitary napkins in the 70s.
No belts, no pins.
No belts, no pins, because we were just sticking them right to our underwear. And
I'm just going to be frank, she has on no pads in that picture either.
Exactly.
There's no
if she's wearing anything,
it was a tampon. Yeah,
exactly. If she's wearing anything there, it's a tampon. There is no way this woman, and I will tell you, a Stay Free Super maxi pad was at least an inch thick. Okay,
right.
There's
Super.
No
and this
way.
Long. They're like the overnight ones. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. They were
that we have now.
Mm-hmm. They were so huge. As a matter of fact, they were so huge. They were so huge. How huge were they, Melissa? They were so huge.
Sorry, I messed that up.
No, it's okay. They were so huge that you used to ask your friends to look at you from behind to ask them if you had like the bump from your like
your
could everybody
diaper
tell
from wearing
you
your
had
diaper,
your diaper on. Because and I was just blessed with a heavy flow. So those super maxi like like, whatever. Get me post-pregnancy stuff, Mom, because I can bleed through 2 of these things in like 5 seconds. So I always had on the biggest thing. So I just always was like, either had like a sweatshirt tied around my waist or wore a long shirt. And so there's no way that Kathy Rigby is wearing a sanitary napkin.
No, not in that picture, for sure.
No. But
this is fascinating to me because this is 1982 and she's an Olympian. Wasn't she an Olympian?
Yeah, she was an Olympian.
Yeah. She's an Olympian talking about doing gymnastics and doing the Olympics on her period. And just this past year, we had an Olympian on her period, and it was the biggest, the biggest scandal. Oh, how dare she talk about her period? It's 2026.
I know.
Like, the fact that she talked about her period, I mean, even women were in the comments like, that's not the time. Gross. She should just do it. And, you know, I was like, it's 2026. It was one of the skaters.
Yeah.
Figure skaters.
Yeah. They are. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm like, it's not like she had a tampon string just hanging out of her outfit or something. Like,
even if she did it,
she did. Like, right.
There are
marathoners. Every single one of us.
There are marathoners who free bleed
down their leg. Yeah,
because it is too uncomfortable. I mean, you're gonna run 26 miles with a tampon.
And dangerous.
Or a sanitary napkin. You will chafe yourself to death. So they just free bleed. You know, it's like that's what people used to do. You know, there's all different ways to handle this. But what was, I will tell you, at the time that this ad came out, this was both controversial but also so empowering that an Olympic athlete is referencing the fact that she gets her period and still competes.
Yes, and apparently it's still controversial.
Still controversial to this day. Look at us. Oh my God, the strides we've made. Okay, what's next? Birth control. So easy. You won't be tempted to take a chance because, of course, he's not going to wear a condom.
Yeah, sure. You're right.
We're still see. Here's the thing: we have not gotten into condoms yet. Now, I'm guessing that in 1992 Cosmopolitan, there will be articles about articles and ads for condoms.
Because as you mentioned, the 80s was the rise of the HIV and AIDS epidemic that we had. And so by the time I came along into kind of the sexual maturity of my generation, safe sex was all that was preached. Condoms condoms every time. Condoms no matter what. You have condoms and he has condoms and your grandma has condoms and we've all got condoms.
Everybody has condoms. Carry your own condoms. Don't trust him to have condoms. And I believe me, love that. Love that. That was very.
We're not going to give you any sex education, but everybody needs condoms.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what to do with them, but this was, and it's interesting because we tried so many different ways to do birth control, like in the 70s and 80s.
Yes.
And when really, you know, I mean, condoms aren't 100% either, but it was all very much on the woman. So these disposable, so basically it was kind of like a tampon applicator and you would squirt spermicide
gel up there.
Gel up in there. And it would hopefully kill the spermies. Except
I can remember being a kid in the 80s and being so confused about all birth control because I didn't understand what do you mean a sponge? What sponge? What sponge goes where? What's a diaphragm? I thought this was my diaphragm. I was told in, chorus classes, what diaphragm? What is foam? What are we doing with the foam? What foam? What are we? I was so confused all the time because it was talked about out loud in sitcoms and soap operas and pretty much everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, the sponge. The sponge was
sponge?
So innovative. And I still don't understand why it had to be taken off the market. I have to go look that up.
Yeah, you remember in Seinfeld when Elaine was like, she had to ration her sponges.
Because the sponge was a combination of like a disposable diaphragm with spermicide on it. And so you could like put it in the morning and like it just, we tried so many things, but they were all also gross. So the problem is that this is a great idea. You know, you're going to squirt this stuff up in there. But then when you get, and it's unscented and it is supposedly, it's odorless, but it does not say it's flavorless. And I am fairly certain that spermicide doesn't taste good.
Ew.
So
gross.
At what point were we doing the spermicide? Because I think you were supposed to do it a little bit in advance.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I think so.
But that means that there would be no oral pleasure for you. But it only takes a moment to be safe.
I need to know that the next ad was in fact on the next page. Please tell me that the next ad was on the next page.
The next ad was in fact on the next page. And
that's amazing.
There are multiple pregnancy test advertisements. So, and
oh my God, look at that. It's like a pool testing kit. Like, what? Am I doing chemistry in my bathroom? What's happening?
And by the way, you get those results in 45 minutes.
45 minutes? Holy shit. I mean, there's people right now, they'll go buy one at the Dollar Tree and pee on it in the parking lot, you know? Like,
I know, and they're sitting there with their phone like, is it 60 seconds? Should I wait? Okay, it's 60 seconds and it's negative. Should I wait another 60 seconds?
Oh my gosh.
45 minutes. Yes, after, so you get your take-home chemistry set here.
And it says it's the fastest. That's what they're advertising. This is the fastest one. Wow.
45 minutes to know. Yep.
Dang.
And the thing is let me see, when does this tell you? So FACT lets you test as early as 3 days after a missed period, which is really, really good for an at-home test.
Yeah, that's not, well, yeah, it's the whole chemistry set. It's not bad.
Yeah, you are actually doing a lab technician's job at home.
Dang.
Yeah, it's easy to use. It doesn't say how expensive this thing is.
Yeah.
But there's a whole device involved here. I think it has to be expensive.
And I wonder if it's like a one-time thing.
Oh, yeah, I don't think it's reusable. I think you need all of these different parts. Yeah. Wow. A quick test means a better chance for privacy. It's certainly more convenient, and it fits your busy schedule because you wanted to be a working woman and have sex.
But look at this, though. The very last thing it says is that the kit comes with a number, a toll-free number staffed by registered nurses ready to answer your questions. That's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Like, God, we went backwards. We went so backwards.
No.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, we used to have access to things like nurses. Okay.
So when your conceptual doesn't work, you can use the FACT.
Yes, there you go.
Test kit.
You're like, did my little squirt not work? Okay. You'll find out.
Because he found my corduroy spot.
Oh, yeah. Corduroy. Yep. Okay. Are you ready?
I am. Yes! I'm so fancy!
It's the height of sophistication.
Yeah. Can I tell you that my mother-in-law still drinks this to this day? Like, she will go find this stuff. She loves it. I don't think she likes regular coffee, but this, she loves that stuff.
This is just when you thought there was no romance left in the world. General Foods International Coffees. Cafe Amaretto. Wow. Roman-style instant coffee beverage. Anytime they add beverage on the end, it means it's not actually the thing that was right before the word beverage.
Right.
It's not actually coffee. So yeah, guys, we need to tell you, like, when we say to you that this was the height of sophistication, the commercials for this product, these General Foods International coffees, made you think that the Gordon Gekko's wives of the world, they were getting together in the afternoon and they were sharing a cup of General Foods International. And notice how it was always part of that General Foods International coffees.
International, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's international.
And they were eating that little, what was that swirly ice cream cake?
Oh.
The Viennetta ice cream? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So fancy.
The height of sophistication. Or you could have a Stella D'Oro breakfast treat with your General Foods International coffees.
Yes.
Cafe Amaretto.
That was fancy.
So, and you know what? I don't think I've ever tasted it in my life.
I just feel so sorry for these 80s women. They are, like, kicking ass, and their men absolutely suck.
They do.
This was what they were being told for when you thought there was no romance left in the world. Drink crappy powdered coffee milk.
Well, wasn't the 80s also when we got Calgon, Take Me Away?
Yes. It may have been into the 70s. It may have been, but it was still a campaign in the 80s. Yeah. It was a really long campaign.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, my whole life is falling apart. I need to go take a bubble bath. Calgon, take me away.
Right.
Yeah, no. That's not really how... Taking a bath when you're a mom sucks. It's not relaxing at all. Not at all. Okay. So now we get to the new New ways of making babies. How science can help. Longing for a child but can't conceive? Try one of these avant-garde techniques that pair technology with nature and reap fertile results.
Okay.
So
was this like new in the 80s? Like this has not been being done before?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what's fascinating to me is like they are explaining for the first time to women that artificial insemination is an option, that you can get sperm from a sperm bank. So this is when we first start to see, although they didn't really mention that in this article, and I didn't copy the whole article, but they didn't really suggest it as a way for single women or for same-sex couples to conceive. This is very much geared towards, so you're married and you're trying to have a kid. Yeah. Like so here's your options. Yeah. So they go through, artificial insemination, but to the point where they literally explain it because people didn't know what it meant.
No, right. Sure.
They're like, what do you mean? So wait, you're going to take my husband's sperm and put it in my body, but doesn't he already do that? Or we can take, now I don't think we've gotten really into egg harvesting yet. This is mostly about freezing sperm. It is about test tube babies, which does require harvesting eggs. Yeah. And then, adopting, international adoption.
We're getting there.
We're getting there, but also I know that you're liberated and everything. And we're teaching you that you really should want to work and succeed, but also you still need to produce babies.
That's right.
And because you waited too long, because this will become the narrative. As we go through the 80s and we get into the 90s, what we will start telling women is that because you waited too long, because you were selfish, and as a woman who waited until she was 36, I am considered selfish back in the day. Yeah. Because of all of those things, that's why you have infertility problems. You have increased, your children are going to have increased risks for Down syndrome and all of these genetic conditions because you waited too long. That is the narrative that we were fed for decades. But what is this new research starting to show?
This is
Liza?
This is where our biological clock. That term came from your biological clock is ticking. Mm-hmm. They were telling everybody that if you hadn't had babies by your 30s, you're just almost used up.
Yeah. And they start telling men that women in their 30s are obsessed with their biological clock, and now they're going to try and force you into marriage.
Oh my God!
Because their biological clock is ticking, they actually painted us like crazy people. That women in their mid 30s,
movies, TV shows, everything.
Shit. Yep. Yeah. I mean, even there's a classic moment in My Cousin Vinny where Marissa Tomei, and she really deserved, she was amazing in that movie when she's like, my biological clock is ticking. Like, she's losing her shit. But now there's research that has come out now in the 21st century. Here we are at my God, we just went through the first quarter of the 21st century.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. Sure did. And what we learned is, you know what? The age of the man matters.
Yes, and we also have learned not only the age of the man, but the quality of his sperm is what causes all of our problems and most of the baby's problems. You severely morning sick for most of your pregnancy, it's his fault. Yeah. You have preeclampsia, it was his fault.
Honey. Yeah.
So much of his health affects how you feel and the baby's health.
Yeah. Like we didn't think that, taking fluid, an important vital fluid from another human being, putting it in our body, mixing it up with our genetic material, that how was it always our fault? Well, the mother was 40. That's why she had that baby that was like that. Yeah. I mean, no. How old was the man? How healthy was the man? Why did we never ask? But we will now go through from 1982 through the next 30 or 40 years. We're going to blame women for every single thing that could go wrong in a pregnancy.
And my very favorite thing is that in the year of our Lord 2026, we're blaming women for their miscarriages and making that illegal to do. Yes, progress.
We're making them go. I don't understand. Explain the collection kits to me. Okay, which
I don't
was
want
it, Georgia?
to. I don't want to. Yes, It is Georgia and South Carolina and Texas. And
is every menstruating woman supposed to just have a handy collection kit now in her medicine cabinet?
This is very clearly a man's, idea, because they don't get or understand that a miscarriage is not, I sit down like the poop collection kit and plop it out and here's it happens over days, sometimes weeks. It's in different stages. It comes out torn up to pieces. It's not one
you don't
come
even
and go.
Sometimes you don't even know you were pregnant and it happens. And you're like, that was an unusually brutal pregnant period that came out of nowhere.
Right. Oh, well, they don't know anything about
I think
us.
I was pregnant. No.
Right.
No. But they make these laws. But now we're going to start planting the seeds of doubt, because I think this is one of the earliest times that I have come across. Let me get there. Triumphing over the fear of success.
Fear of success.
The fear of success. So it's interesting because it starts out sounding like what could be what could be sweeter than the laurel wreath, the thunder of applause? Yet strange anxieties and depressions can keep you from soaring high. Here's how to get on the glory road.
That sounds right?
It sounds right, but then so here's the thing. Okay. It sounds really inspiring. Yeah. But let me share the story with you that she tells us about.
Okay.
Ever since I'd known her, Claire had been about 30 pounds overweight, just enough to make her a real tub, since she's also short. Last year, she lost 30 pounds, revealing a figure so cuddlesome that girlfriends no longer liked to go certain places with Claire. Any available man tended to gravitate toward her, not them. Wow, I thought her life is certainly going to change. Except when I saw Claire one morning on the street, she'd gained all the weight back. Later that same day, I read a New York Times article about dieting in which a prestigious doctor said, no less than 75% of my diet patients who lose weight become so anxious that they'd gain all the weight back if they didn't continue psychological treatment for at least a year. What is this article about?
I am so confused by everything that you just read out loud to me. Like, so confused.
So it tries to tell us that people, because we know this, we understand the fear of success, which I think is a myth.
It sounds I don't
fear
success. Okay on its face, but right. It does bring its own anxieties, I guess, is correct. That's correct. It does bring
holding on to it. But I think where this article was going is that the issue is in this article is the way other people are perceiving the women once they have achieved success is creating anxiety and depression for those women, because they're becoming isolated by their success and the jealousy of other women.
But they're talking about success just in weight loss. Like, I thought this was talking about our...
Well, I mean, so here's the thing, is it seems like you want to believe that it's about job.
Okay. Right.
There's another woman who, there's mentions, this is the thing that again, I just felt like this is what they keep doing to us. This starts out being an article about, you go girl, you get you.
Yeah.
And it does sort of say some things here about how some people find successful women to be too mannish. Does kind of mention that, right? So that's a problem.
Why not?
But then that story about Claire, everything in that story, from the girl who's telling the story, and describes a friend, a coworker, as a real tub.
A real tub.
She's not just 30 pounds overweight. She's also short.
And 30 pounds, like... Oh
She's
my God, how dare she? Real tub.
But then she loses the 30 pounds and all her friends get mad at her.
Yeah. This is reminding me, I have only recently seen and been reminded of this book, and trying to tell Gen Z what the 80s were like and what Gen X childhood was like. It is wrapped up in this book. Do you remember this book? Nothing's Fair in the 5th grade.
No.
And it's a series as well. And the whole entire thing, they read like whole segments of it on like TikTok and Instagram just to tell Gen Z how fucked up our lives were. It is about a little girl, 5th grade, and she's just so fat. And the whole book is about how fat she is and how her being fat. The teacher won't let her eat, and she's sneaking food, and she's trying to get food, and the teacher's mad at her, and she gets called to the principal's office because she's sneaking food. Like, so awful. And her mom hates her because she's fat. And the whole book is about her being fat and being bullied about being fat. And it's not like how sad for her. It's like, this is normal. She should be being bullied because she's fat. She should like, what the heck? So she was a real tub.
Yeah. Well, you're supposed to listen to your friends. If you're a real tub, they're just trying to help you. Just trying to help you, hun. You know, you'd be really cute if you just lose like 30 pounds. And then you got real cute. Now I don't want to hang out with you anymore because now all the boys are looking at you.
I guess.
And I need to score my Gordon Gecko. But then this psychiatrist is over here like, women lose a lot of weight. They need to stay in therapy for at least a year or they will gain the weight back.
There was an obsession in the 80s. Well, before that, like, because it was our boomer moms who were young women. They were obsessed with being 100 pounds. It was something, there was something about being 100 pounds.
Oh, yeah. You know, if you were over 100
I don't know
pounds,
what,
you were,
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but the thought of being 100 pounds is sickening.
Well, and they were given amphetamines by their doctors. Like they were given amphetamines by their doctors. Doctors would give women diet pills as they started to get older because as you get older and after you have children, obviously you don't fit into your pre-pregnancy genes. And if you do, God bless you. My mom used to go get
shots and it wasn't GLP-1 shots, you know? That wasn't what it was.
No. They were taking amphetamines and getting B12 shots.
B12 shots.
I had a doctor who was big into the B12 shots.
And you had to go to Weight Watchers meetings where you had to weigh in front of everyone.
Yes. Yep.
Everyone. Every week. And we didn't live, like my mom would drive an hour to go do this.
And keep a log. And my mother did every stupid diet imaginable. Grapefruit diet, cabbage soup diet.
Cabbage soup. There was something, and this is again a Southern, it's so Southern. I have looked it up to see if it was a real thing, and it was. They did one, it was called jogging, like with an I-N, jogging in a jug. And it was just like this big jug of like grape juice mixed with vinegar and some other stuff that they were supposed to drink instead of eating. Jogging in a jug. They did that.
Oh, well, remember they did that like in the 2000s or something like that. We had the cayenne.
Oh, cayenne and
cayenne and lemon juice. And lemon juice. Just drink that. You'll lose so much weight. I'm like, gross. I'm sure. The other thing in this, the overall thing about this fear of success situation is that you make other people uncomfortable when you become successful. So you kind of have to accept that if you want to be successful.
Oh, I'll accept it.
Okay. So, I mean, the 80s just really just sucked to be alive. Now, I just put this in here because this is just fun. This was the height of sophistication in decor.
Yes. Amazing.
In 1982. But I want you to understand that most people's houses did not look like this.
No, they did. Well, every single solitary decade, everyone's houses looks like the decade before because you can't afford to just redecorate every day. So everybody's houses in the 80s looked like what decor was popular in the 70s. Everybody had that wood paneling and everybody still had like oranges and brown. Everything was really brown.
And it all just has this same sort of orangey brown tone because it's all covered in cigarette smoke. Everything, right. Everyone, the whole world is covered in cigarette smoke. But this is what we were now we were getting into these blues and pinks, and leather furniture was going to become a big, big thing. And this is what we were aspiring to.
My favorite thing in this picture, though, is the corner, the like wicker seats where the seat doesn't have legs. It's just this like L.
My father had those. Yeah. My father had that little C-shaped thing. You would fall. You could fall. Yeah. It was so easy to fall. All right. Now, the next one, we're not going to dig too much into it, but the sensual
shoulder pads.
So women are now in the workforce, and we're needing to wear suits. But women are starting to find that this is not that fun, and it doesn't look really good. No, so this is an article about all the different ways you can wear a suit. Yeah. Something is making a noise, and I don't know what. And like during the last few years, the skirted suit has been in the limelight more than ever. That's not because of a fashion whim, but because the skirted suit carries an important message. The woman who wears a suit is saying, "I am professional." But notice it's a skirted suit.
Yeah, right. With nylons.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Pack a suit to avoid carrying a lot of luggage. You just keep changing your blouses and accessories and just wear the same stinky suit.
Gross.
Day. Oh, because it was probably polyester.
Of course.
Yeah, for daytime wear, the choice of blouse is endless. Do be sure, though, that the collar of the blouse does not conflict with the collar of the suit. What? For example, a blouse with a rounded collar and lapels and a jacket with a pointed collar and lapels are not compatible.
Okay.
Oh, God. Oh, it's just, and then it goes into figure flattering details for all kinds of suits. So
it could also be fur trimmed if you wanted elegance. Trimmed for elegance.
I don't know how that would play in the office, but sure, I'll wear a fur trimmed suit. Sure.
But you have to have your double shoulder pads.
You gotta have the shoulder pads got to be big, and they get pointier and pointier as the decade goes on.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, so next we are about to embark upon.
Woo!
Yeah.
Spicy.
Now, look at adultery. Ever toyed with the notion of
a long article?
It's a huge article. It is, and I was like, I started trying to read. I was like, I
can't. It keeps going. I mean, it keeps.
And it's all of these stories.
6 pages
about different women who've had have had affairs. Gloria sees no reason deception ever has to climax in discovery. So basically, she's like, I never have to get caught. John said something once during the first affair. He said, hey, you're fooling around. And I said, you know where I am every minute of the day. And I said, you know who I work with? When would I have time?
Okay.
I mean, like...
Sure, why not?
My sophisticated friend went on to describe the cheaters she knows as women for whom sex is a special enthusiasm and who feel a need to exercise their talent on a variety of partners.
Their talent!
Some women are good in bed, and it's important to them. God forbid it doesn't work out. A dancer dances, a writer writes, and a sex pot has sex. It's a big deal to her. She cheats because that's her ballet, her novel. It's what she does.
Who wrote this? Okay. Barbara.
It was written by a woman.
Barbara. She writes that like it's empowering, but what she's not saying is that these women in the 80s were still being so pressured to get married.
Yeah.
When they so clearly did not want to be married. Like, if she's honest about what she's writing, these women wanted to date. They wanted to date different men, not settle down with the loser that they
Yeah, they wanted to have sex with people. Yeah.
Sure.
In the one woman in here, Chloe just realized she hated Frank. So she was happily married to the second time to a well-known screenwriter. She writes too, FYI. And Chloe declares wholeheartedly that she'd never be unfaithful to Jed.
Sure,
but it was an affair that ended Chloe's first less contented marriage to Frank. And so her affair helped her to see that she just hated her husband, Frank. And so she divorced him, and now she's married. But to Liza, to your point, here's Chloe's story. Chloe was 19 and pregnant when she married Frank because I needed a father for my little baby. And besides, he was crazy about me. She had 2 more children. And then she says, I had never been particularly in love with Frank and wasn't that attracted to him. We had sex because a person needs to have sex.
Oh, my God.
I think it means Frank needs to have sex.
Frank, right.
Yeah, Chloe's anguish in her marriage was muted. I think you could say I was deeply unhappy in the way a person can be miserable without noticing it. I just had migraines. This woman's affair... Swear to God. This woman's affair with a talented but troubled ne'er-do-well, sometime painter, sometime trombonist began shortly after her 10th wedding anniversary. Yeah. Her kids were 7, 8, and 10, which is a lot better. Swear to God it says this, which is a lot better than 2, 3, and 5. So I had a little bit of mobility and that little bit of emotional space that allowed me to think about my own needs. And so she had an affair with a ne'er-do-well trombonist.
Yeah, she did.
Painter.
Good for her. I'm just kidding.
And then she got really sloppy and her husband found out. And
I don't see page number. Oh, there it is. I'm looking on page 234 And it's the little section on the right that says who cheats. And this is where it says we know the numbers. Somewhere between 50 and 75% of wives, and here's what it says, cheat at least a little. What does that mean? What do they mean by that? Like, what are you talking about with that? Like, what were the parameters for this statistics?
Yeah. But then they do say 72% of men also cheat.
I mean, it's like, is she a bored housewife who drops a few Valium before her regular afternoon engagements? What are you talking about? Like, what's going? I don't know. I just want to know where they got these numbers from, because they're not telling that.
Yeah, and remember, oh yes, Erica Jong's Fear of Flying came out around this time, and the protagonist is an unfaithful woman, and here's the thing: somehow we're trying to make it like this is a positive thing. Yeah, I mean, there's a many-page article in Cosmopolitan about
it's so long
about people finding happiness through adultery.
Which would, in this time, like I said, wouldn't have even been necessary had they been allowed to not have to be married in the first place.
Yeah.
Or get married a little later, maybe. Let's say that.
Yeah.
You know, if they want to get married to someone else, find someone else. She hadn't married Frank because she needed
she needed
somebody at 19.
She needed a baby. Well, because if we do the math, abortion was not an option for her when she was 19, probably.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So she's like, well, I'm either an unwed mother or I marry Frank. And now I've married Frank, but the whole world seems to be having a really good time. And I think this is kind of also what happened.
Well, it was available back then. I don't even know, because this would have been around 1971 based on these numbers, or maybe 1970. Right. It was available.
Yeah. Not legally.
I mean, some places.
Abortion has always been available, but you had to go before 1973, 1972. What year did we pass Roe v. Wade that we've destroyed?
Yeah, I don't.
People used to go to Mexico.
72. I know parents who took their daughters to their doctor, and the doctor did it like back.
I'm sure they would.
It's 1970. You know.
Oh, I'm sure people would.
Right. But, so it was happening.
Yeah. This wasn't supposed to be happening.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Right. Yeah, Erica Jong, back in 1973, she wrote that book. I've little doubt that more wives are unfaithful than ever before. But as to whether you can do that and maintain your marriage, well, that's a question I'd rather not address.
Is the woman that you have scanned in, is she from this article?
Yes, she is the cover girl. Wait, let me.
She's the saucy vixen
She's the saucy vixen. Where is she? There she is.
Yeah. Look at that saucy. She's not wearing a suit though. How unprofessional.
How unprofessional. Look at how much skin she's showing in this suit dressed jacket.
Looking at her boss, because there's a very phallic art object behind her.
Uh-huh. Oh my God, yes, look at that. Wow, they really worked on style in this. Mm-hmm. She looks naughty though, but she also looks a little disheveled. Like she's.
But I love her. Look how good she looks. Look at that 80s makeup.
Yeah, I love cool. 80s makeup, man.
I was
gonna go all in. I was gonna go all in, but then I was like, it will take me forever to get it off.
The frosted lipstick is amazing in this one. She looks great.
Yeah. She was something. Okay, so here we have another pregnancy test. This is EPT, and this is the one I remember. Available. Yeah, EPT, early pregnancy test, came with you can get a 1-pack or a double pack.
Well,
but read the comment there from the nice physician lady.
So I am a physician and a woman. I used EPT to correctly diagnose my pregnancy. I wanted to have the privacy of not sending a specimen to the laboratory at the hospital where I work. EPT is easy and accurate. Look at Adrienne Weiss Harrison there.
Yeah, and you notice there's a lot of short hair. That was a good thing that happened in the 80s, is we finally got to get rid of our hair. So I used EPT to correctly diagnose my pregnancy.
But notice why. The reason is ridiculous. She did it because she didn't want to go to the hospital where she worked.
That seems like such a her problem that to use it as the ad seems really confusing.
I know.
How many people work in a hospital? I mean, a lot.
Also, why
many.
would this have been like? Why was this necessary? Why did she need to keep this from her coworkers? I mean, this is private, but I guess I understand. Okay, I'm taking it back. I understand.
We're still
it's private,
shaming.
But still,
we're still shaming.
Like, what the heck?
Did you know that she thinks she might be pregnant? She's not married. Right. Fucking whore. Yeah. It's the original.
Or maybe she was one of these 70% of women that was cheating around. Yeah.
You never know. Yeah. So this one doesn't really say though, like how long or anything.
No.
The other one said 45 minutes. So I'm assuming.
And it claimed it was the fastest. It was literally named like fastest one. So that's crazy.
I don't know. And they don't even tell us what comes in this kit. It doesn't look as like complicated as the previous one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Here we go.
Hey, tampons.
We finally got terrifying. These ads are the reason I did not use tampons.
Are they?
Because I don't want anything to do that inside my body.
That's so funny. So for 33 years now, OB is all I've ever used. I stand for OB.
Stand for OB. Well, it was the first tampon that did not have an applicator.
Right. And I'm the only one I've ever known who's used it because people still are icked out by that. But
that's the part that I found that was the struggle that OB kind of had, and what it was trying. It was like, let's put less foreign stuff, although tampons are still completely like foreign. But let's because like the original tampons came with a cardboard applicator.
Yeah, they did.
And that is about as comfortable as you think it is.
Yeah, dry
and then we got the one,
right
we finally got the smooth plastic that's got like the little top where the whole thing is covered.
Yeah, sharp
prongs.
They're sharp.
They are. You start pushing that thing through and those prongs come out and you're like, oh, okay, it's going in.
Yeah.
I just have I'm just not, it's a sensory thing. There's never a moment when
the funny thing is, I don't know if this would ever have been something that I did on my own. It's just kind of how life ended up. It's such a weird, stupid story. It makes no sense. When you
read Cosmo, but
my parents were divorced by this time, so this is why this story makes no damn sense to me whatsoever. But my dad was a car salesman at that time, and somehow his car lot had won some kind of little award where he could go anywhere that I think it was American Airlines flew. Doesn't matter, like some airline. He won tickets to go anywhere, but he couldn't use these tickets, so he gave them to my mom. They were divorced. Okay, so she decided to use these airline tickets to take me and her to Thailand in 1992. Or 1993. I was 13, and so we went to Thailand on this trip. And this was before Thailand became, I don't know. And this was before Thailand became like a tourist destination. It was no tourists there. It was just very small. And so we went there, and had only had my period once before, ever. And so, of course, I have to get it on the trip. So I got my period on the trip. And in Thailand, and there was no like drugstore. The only place for us to buy things was at the like hotel's little, like whatever, a store. Yeah. And all they had there was OB tampons. That was it. And my mom was
really?
She didn't tell me how to use them. This is such a boomer thing. She was like, I guess that's fine for you. She didn't tell me what to do. I mean, they were studying the thing. Like,
no one taught me, nobody, anything. I had the thing, and you're over there, you're like, put your leg up on the toilet.
So I used them, and, I was able to go swimming and able to go out. And I that's all I kept using from then on there. But what a stupid, weird story. And so I've never used anything but OB tampons. And for some reason now you can't find them. Like I have to order them off Amazon.
They don't really. Everybody's back in the applicator world with the tampons for some reason.
A lot of Gen Z don't like tampons at all. I've learned they don't want to do that at all. My daughter is not interested. She's like, no, thanks.
No,
I don't want to do that.
These magazines just open up so much of the time capsule
discussion
of our lives as women at that time. So the OB tampons were okay. So now this one, all right. This
I've never heard of this brand, by the way.
So I have not either. I was a Tony home perm child.
Oh,
my whole childhood into high school. Because my hair is stupid. It's like super baby fine.
Aw.
So they
hold
went
perm?
It did. But a frizzy looking little, I ended up looking like little
everyone's hair
Orphan
was
Annie.
frizzy looking.
Yeah, I always ended up looking like little Orphan Annie. It just never looked good. But I don't know. My mom kept perming my hair. And this was the look on the box. And I'd be like, I don't want that. I don't want that. No one wants that, Mom. Why are we going to do that to my head? And she'd be like, get in the kitchen. We're perming your hair.
Bad. Like that box, like that's supposed to be what the best of the best. It looks so bad.
Oh, it's horrible coloring. It's just the whole thing is it's another thing that I noticed but I didn't copy any of the ads. Cream rinse, quote unquote, conditioner was new. This was also a new thing. I forgot that there was a time when we only shampooed our hair.
That's right.
And then that was it. We did not condition it. So all of our hair
cream rinse was a brand new thing.
Yeah, it was completely stripped. It was both stripped and coated because our shampoos were horrific as well.
And fried, you're putting the perms on and then we're putting the heat on it and all the spray. Everybody's hair was crispy.
It was disgusting.
Extra
hair
crispy.
Was just so bad back then. Outrageous opinion. So this is not the most outrageous opinion. I feel like this title is like those videos that are like shocking opinion, shocking secret uncovered, and she's like, yeah, I only ate half my sandwich for lunch, and you're like, that's the shocking secret. But the point of
stupidest thing I've ever seen.
You figured out what the point of this article is?
Well, I read down to where you have it highlighted. Did you highlight it or did someone else
highlight it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the dumbest thing I've ever read.
Yeah. But just this is, again, how we were talking to women. So basically, she's pissed off because she can't keep up with the changing trends in fashion. Okay? This is her problem. This is her problem.
That's outrageous, Melissa.
Okay? It's outrageous. It's outrageous. What is she complaining about? And she's like, I can't keep up anymore. And then she's like, but then they said anything goes. So I'm all excited because this means I can wear whatever I wear. So I wear my flared jeans. This is the story she tells. I put on my flared jeans and went to visit a friend in the Hamptons. When I arrived, my hostess was en route to town to pick up some vegetables. I said I'd go along. Maybe you'd like to change into a pair of straight-leg pants? She suggested casually. And then when she said I didn't bring any, it's like, okay, well, we're going to go to the farmer's market where I don't know anybody. And then for some reason she thought, and then tonight for the cocktail party, I'm going to put on my floppy pajamas. And her friend was like, maybe we should stay home and have a cozy evening. So basically her friend is like, I cannot let anyone see you. You're disgusting. And then her friend said to her,
it's my favorite.
I really admire you. You just don't care, do you? And then another person, she's a saleswoman. She's out buying something, and the saleswoman says to her, I guess at your age it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but the thing is, what she's wearing, she's like, what an interesting dress. I haven't seen that since 1968. 14 years before this. It's not like I haven't seen that since the 1920s. Like, what? I mean, I have shirts in my closet that are 14 years old. I'm definitely like, what are they?
Oh, yeah.
What were they talking about? But do you notice that we did have fashion decades really, really strongly before now? I mean, there was a really big difference between the 50s and the 60s. There was a really big difference between the 60s and the 70s, and then huge difference between the 70s and 80s, and then the 90s as well. It's just not that much difference now
I think since the early 2000s, which I'm
there was a lot of early 2000s fashion for sure, but in the not like the 2010s and through the 20, there just hasn't been that much variation in fashion where people are like, oh, that's such a 2010s thing to wear.
I think we're just very fragmented culturally. Like, we don't even all agree on music. I mean, we're just, everything is fragmented. So I'm sure it will become obvious when we look back a little bit, but I don't know.
Well, I'll hear people say that now, especially Gen Z. They're like, oh my God, that's so 2016. I'm like, what does that mean? That doesn't mean anything at all to me. Like, what do you mean by 2016? My daughter will say that. She'll be like, oh my God, that's the most 2017 thing. I'm like, what do you mean by that? What does that even mean?
What does that mean?
My hair was the same. My clothes were the same. I was doing the same thing. I don't know.
I don't know. The only thing I can say is post 2020, I do really feel like we have hit the anything goes, and I hope we continue there, because I am really trying to make a push for us all just to be allowed to wear pajamas anywhere.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people do that anyway.
I know, but I mean like literally anywhere. I want to be able to go sit down and eat at Chili's in like Winnie the Pooh pajamas, and I don't
really
want
admire you.
To...
You just don't care. I really admire that about you, Melissa.
There are people, but I think the reason I scanned that article is because people have said that to me over the years. People have said that about my hair. They're like, well, I guess you just get to a point where you just don't care anymore. And I'm like, well, yes, actually. That is exactly
Who says that to people?
Older women will say that. A young woman would never say that to another woman, I want to believe.
I don't know. I have learned that there are people out there who just truly don't pay attention to what they're saying to other people.
Yeah.
Like, they just truly don't think about, like, did that really just come out of your mouth just now?
I guess. All right, wait, let's add to stage. Okay, you ready?
Yes. Finally, I want to smoke again.
But wait,
now
look at the woman. Does that look like Melissa Gilbert with a shit ton of makeup on?
I mean, kinda. But Melissa Gilbert was quite young at that time, though, right?
I know, but it just looks like her.
Yeah, her today? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So this
but also, this woman in this ad is probably like 25 years old.
I know. She looks like she's my age.
She probably is quite young.
So this is the agony column. This was the column everyone always looked forward to in Cosmo, because this is where people would ask, awkward questions.
Oh.
But they weren't. Here's the thing: is they weren't as saucy this month, I guess. Whatever.
No.
But so there's the one girl who is dating a guy, and he asked her to marry him, but then she's starting to think that he might be gay, and she's like, what do you think I should do? And the agony answer is, a number of women marry bisexuals and are happy, but no woman is happy with a man she is afraid to confront. There is only one person who can tell you the facts about your lover. Confront him, which is a good answer. Stop asking everyone do you think Brad is gay? But I will say, if you keep asking, first of all, Brad is probably gay.
Right.
All right. First of all, Brad's probably gay. Second of all, don't be telling other people. Don't be asking other people that question.
I feel like also this was maybe a dangerous thing to be asking people in the 80s when the AIDS scare was so prevalent and coming online like that. Like, stop telling people that.
Yeah, I know. That was just a really weird, but the other thing that I found that, a number of women marry bisexuals and are very happy. A lot of women marry gay men and are very happy. Lavender marriages are like really happy, and they're making a comeback.
Yes.
They're making a big comeback, and I love that. Yeah. So then there's this other one. I'm very unhappy. I'm 27, unmarried, and not unattractive. Because these women never write, and I'm really kind of homely. They never write in. They're always like,
I'm a big tub.
Yeah. Just a big tub. And because I'm short, too.
That's right.
My problem is, I seem to eat up men like other people consume cornflakes.
I love one of these 50%ers,
I love this lifestyle, and I find nothing morally wrong with my attitude towards sex. However, my colleagues at work are beginning to despise me and do not hide their contempt for me. No one wrote this letter. I work in a specialized field, so it wouldn't be easy for me to change my job. I can't continue it. What should I do? So, purity culture.
Yeah.
This is where it starts. They start in Cosmopolitan magazine with these women who have become liberated, who have become sexually in control of their own lives. Right. And now they're starting to show, just like that Success article, they're starting to plant the seeds of doubt.
But they also had a 6-page article about women being ballerinas of the sex world. Like, she has sex like some women have ballet, and now it's over here like, well, I'm uncomfortable. I don't really like myself. Yeah, pick a lane, Cosmo. Like,
and that's the thing. These were when we talk about the mixed messages. Yeah, this is when all of this starts to get like so confusing. You know, you're going to start to get Madonna, right? Like and
next year, right? I don't know if she was out in 82, but by next year she was.
By 83, she's exploding. Parents are losing their shit. Young women are like, I want to own my sexuality. I want to own my body. I want to own myself. But at the same time, our media starts planting the seeds of doubt about whether or not this lifestyle is actually making you happy. Are you really
because
happy
the advice
that
that was given here, the answer to this woman who was like, I like this, is stop it. You don't like this lifestyle, or you wouldn't be this unhappy.
Yep. And you notice I put Erica because when I read it, you know the Erica Kirk, stop it. You know that meme that's out there. That's how I read. I saw Erica Kirk going, stop it. You're not really happy.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Of course not. She wouldn't like anything about this.
I mean, that is literally the first answer. You don't really like this lifestyle, or you wouldn't be unhappy. Maybe there's other things in her life that are making her unhappy. Maybe the fact that she likes sex isn't the problem. Maybe the fact that she works with people who will judge her for liking sex is the problem.
Ooh. I'm sorry. I'm scrolling ahead.
Oh, okay.
I scrolled 2 pages down, and I was confronted with.
Okay, that's okay. You were confronted with something, so that's the agony column. Mm-hmm. And then over here, I'm sorry. I scanned the agony column
backwards.
Yeah. But so this is okay. Here's the thing. I'm just going to go to the one. I'm 22 and single, and I'm facing the difficult prospect of deciding whether or not to have an abortion or have a child on my own. Oh. So it's a pretty long, it's a pretty long answer. But the thing that I'm wondering about is she says that there is still time for me to have an abortion. I want to make sure of making the right decision and don't know where to turn for advice or what the psychological and emotional side effects of an abortion would be. Can you help?
Yeah.
So we're planting the seeds here. Oh, there would be. And they're like, oh, you're in the classic female spot. We must pay the price for every decision we make, and we must fight to maintain a society that continues to allow us to make our own decisions.
I call bullshit.
If you decide to have an abortion, you will know your reasons, blah, 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 blah. There is a line that
bullshit.
There's one thing here that I would like printed on a T-shirt or a mug and given to everyone. From the moment that child exists, it will demand your attention, your devotion, and part of your very life. If you cannot give it all that without a grain of resentment or remorse, then I'm afraid you are in no position to give it enough. Now, I do kind of like that.
Yes, I agree with that.
Because that is really good advice.
Absolute bullshit that was a question that was written by any woman at that time and sent to Cosmo.
No.
That was made up by someone in that office and put in that magazine. Because there was no woman who found herself pregnant, and back then probably at 2-3 months along, and was like, oh, what do I do? You know what I should do? I should write a magazine that probably won't go to print for another 6 months. And maybe by then I'll have
I know you can't read my handwriting on the Post-its, but it says, hope she didn't wait till this article was published to make her decision. Because she's given birth at this point.
Sure. So that I call absolute bullshit on that. Yeah. Nobody wrote that in.
No, nobody wrote that in. And it was an opportunity to write an answer that is both somehow like, isn't it great that we have these choices? You know, these choices come with a lot of consequences, and maybe you shouldn't have had sex in the first place because you could get pregnant, you know, and now you have to make this really hard decision. And oh, by the way, if you do have a child, it's going to suck up your entire life. So maybe you shouldn't be having sex if you don't want to have a baby. Okay. Like, I feel like with everything said in this answer, that's where we ended up.
This is the craziest. I don't know what, the 90s or the 2000s will look like, but this is an absolutely crazy magazine.
Yeah.
Edition of this magazine. This is nuts. The back and forth. They can't decide what they want to tell women. They can't decide who they want women to be. They can't decide what they want women to look like. They can't decide what advice to give them. This is insane.
They were so lost, and that's why it took me so long. I kept sitting down with it, and I eventually ended up, I have like a post-it note on every page of this magazine.
Yeah, because we did, I remember the 70s quite a while ago, and you got 80s and you're like, I don't know about this episode. I'm like, let's do it anyway, and let's see what it looks like. And this is absolutely, no wonder women were so depressed in the 80s. This is crazy.
So confusing. It was so
let's look at
that.
Yes!
But then we had this.
There it is! There it is. That's what I came to. I was like, oh.
The epitome of manhood in 1982.
Sure.
The Chippendales. These boys were on every talk show. They were everywhere. And they were nameless. They were nameless oiled men who were completely hairless except for the big stashes and the hair, the excellent hair.
Right.
They had calendars. Is this the 12 Gorgeous Men for the Holidays in the 1983 Chippendales invitational calendar, now available at finer gift, book, and drugstores. Only at the finer ones.
I feel like that girl's husband, Brad, probably had one of these calendars.
I feel like he did too. I think they both enjoyed the Chippendales calendar.
Chippendales calendar, yeah.
I mean, the funniest thing is that
it's only $5.95.
God, let's get it. I mean, so many of the Chippendales dancers were so totally gay.
Sure, of course.
Yeah, but that didn't. But it was kind of funny. But I had to tell you guys, my grandmother, she loved her some Chippendales.
Did she? Well, she would be like, when did Playgirl come out?
I think that was late 70s, early 80s.
And so they named it Playgirl, like Playboy, like this was going to be for the ladies. That magazine was just for gay men. That was all. It really was. Women weren't buying that magazine.
No, because women. See, here's the thing. I don't know that women necessarily want to, and maybe I'm wrong. And women, if you like to look at pictures of naked men, that's great. I have no judgment. But I see a picture of a naked man, unless it's covered.
They're really ugly.
So, like, okay, look. The Burt Reynolds thing was perfect because the ugly bit was covered by the crease. Because the rest of it, I'm like, but then there's that, and you're just like, oh, no, I don't need to see that.
I don't. That's right.
Especially if it's not happy to see me. Because now you're just kidding me that you're walking around with that just hanging off your body like that.
Yeah, I don't think women were buying that. Other than just for funny curiosity factor, I don't think so. But
yeah, to tease their
friends. They did like Chippendales because they were covered.
Yes,
for the most part,
and that's what my grandmother used to say, because they used to rip those pants off. Those were like removable pants, and then they'd be in like their little silver or their little black briefs, and that's what my grandmother used to say. I just like to watch them swivel, and I'm like, you go, girl, you go, because I'm so like I went to a bachelorette party where they made us go to see the male like dancers. They weren't strippers really, but they were like dancers, in speedos, dancers. And also they were so totally gay. It was in Manhattan, and it was it was funny. It was funny. It was amusing because they were even like, please. But anyway, I mean, they put on a good show, and women lose their shit like they used to lose shit over Chippendales. They would lose their shit going up on stage and doing things with these very sweaty men.
Honestly, that's probably why it's better for a lot of them to be gay, because I think that the female audience feels a lot safer with those gay men. They like to look at them.
I think they absolutely feel safer here in that space. And obviously it's not for me, and I was very judgmental, but I was also it was just, there was a big ick problem for me because it was warm in there.
You're sweaty.
It smelled anyway. The place is called Ruby Foo's. And like you eat, this is gross. You eat Chinese food downstairs.
No.
And then you go, and it's really, really dark, and you can't see what you're eating. And they give you this big drink for the table called the Flaming Orgasm, and it's like alcohol you light on fire, and everybody gets a straw. I don't want to drink out of a bowl with 10 other women, so I'm already like, can I just get water? Can I just get my own water? And my friend Patty, who is like equally skeeved, we ended up, when we went upstairs to the stripping thing, we sat in a back corner, and we proceeded to hold each other because we were a couple.
Sure.
And no one was going to sit on either one of us. No one was going to touch us because they smelled. They had like body oil on, but they were sweating.
Oh, sure.
Women paw these men in a way that you will never see in a go-go club. Like, where women strip. You can't touch them like that. No, these women are like rubbing their hands on these men's legs and their chests, and everybody smells and everybody's sweaty. And they would come over and they'd be like, and Patty and I would be like, no, man, we're good. We're together. And I remember at one point the guy was like, oh, are you lesbians? And we were like, yeah. Yes, and he's like, cool. And then he just goes off to find somebody else. And the two of us were like, I am in hell. It smells so weird in here. Why does it smell funny? I think it was all like the musk. I understand what it's like to be a fae from one of those books where they're like, they can smell when people have had sex because Ruby Foo smells like a bunch of horny people and sweat and Chinese food.
It's all the pheromones just oozing out of their pores.
It was so gross. So no, the Chippendales didn't do it for me either.
But it did give birth to the Saturday Night Live episode with Chris Farley. You know, that we got that because of Chippendales.
What a treasure. He would just go for it, man. Mm-hmm. He would just go for it. God bless him.
So we got that out of Chippendales.
We go from the Chippendales to...
I got a headache.
Life got tougher. We got stronger. Excedrin.
What is happening in this ad?
She's getting her gas pumped, but...
Is that what he looked like he was about to rob her?
I know. She's got $15. So I'm thinking $15 is expensive in 1982.
I did not see the gas pumps behind him, and he looks like he's just like skeeving over the car, and she's got money hanging out of her wallet, and I'm like, what's going on in this ad? Like,
life seems to get tougher, all right. Lady. Look at those gasoline prices, and just thinking about traffic could give you a miserable headache. But fortunately, there's extra strength Excedrin, which God bless Excedrin. If you have migraines, Excedrin is amazing because it's got caffeine in it. And that's what really kills the migraine. But Toto, 17, you're not in Kansas anymore. Toto, we're not in Kansas. And what I thought was interesting about this as an ad, and why other than the fact that it's like, what a weird ad.
It is a weird ad.
It is a weird ad. Is that I think it encapsulates what is happening to women in 1982.
Yeah.
Life is getting so much harder.
Yeah, sure.
It was always hard for women, but now we've gotten the right to go out to work. We're about to move into the decade where the choice to go to work is not a choice anymore.
That's right. That's true.
Because we can't, the people who are living on one salary, how?
But nothing at this point had gotten better for women at home. So we finally were able to go to work, but nothing got better for us at home. We were still expected to be the mothers. We were still expected to clean the house. We were still expected to be the ones cooking. We were still expected to do everything that they had been doing since the 50s, 60s, 70s. But now we also have to work a full-time job. And like I said, in the 90s, it wasn't a choice.
Yes. Life had become exponentially harder for women. Yeah. At this point, it was just stupid. So Jacqueline Smith, who was Charlie's Angels is starting to wind down. Jacqueline Smith was the most beautiful woman in the world, and this is when we start to begin to see the rise of actresses starting to promote their own skincare lines.
I forgot Max Factor existed.
Yep.
I forgot that was a thing.
So this is Jacqueline Smith doing a cosmetic commercial because she was a what do you call it originally, a model originally. And then from there, we're going to go to Victoria Principal is going to come out with her own line of skincare. And all of a sudden, all of these women are doing infomercials for skincare when the reality is that they're all having plastic surgery.
Sure. Right.
But if you buy this stuff, first it was Victoria Principal. Now Cindy Crawford's still hawking her stuff. I'm like, Cindy, no one believes that your cream is why you look like that.
Also, though, I don't know if anyone here remembers, but things like foundation, or we used to call it base, in the 80s was the grossest stuff ever invented. It was so bad. It did not look good on anyone's skin.
And it oxidized.
It came in like 3 colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. It came in like 3 colors, and it was awful.
3 shades of white person, to be clear.
3 shades of orange.
Yeah,
orange white people.
There was nothing, if you were not a white person who wanted to be yellow, orange, or like a weird sickly beige color.
Yeah.
I don't know where you were shopping, because it didn't come in that many colors. Like the shades that we have today are almost like dizzyingly too much.
Yeah.
I look at like the shades that some of these things come out in, and I'm always like, at least for me, it's really simple. I'm like, what is the one that looks like a white piece of paper?
Me too. What's the lightest we got? What you got in there?
That's mine. Yeah. It's so wild. So you got
it was really thick, and it smelled gross, and it wasn't good. Ugh.
So at the same time, we're like, wear a business suit, but also look like that whatever is going on in this fuzzy, Cody nuance. This is your fragrance is going to say, I wear blurry negligees.
Although I will say, I as a child thought that nail polish only came in that color, because that's the only color my mom wore.
Oh,
really? In that ad. I didn't know that it came in lots of other colors, because she only wore that kind of beigey brown. Nude.
Yeah. Oh, the analyst's couch, which it changed a lot. But it's still, she's like, my man and I used to have fantastic sex before we were married, but now that he's my husband, see the article about infidelity.
Isn't this the same doctor from 10 years ago?
No, I think it's the other guy had a name we couldn't pronounce, but it's a man.
It looks I think they're using the same photo of the doctor.
Probably
they look exactly the same.
It's a male psychiatrist who is answering your questions in the Cosmopolitan magazine for
about
women.
Sex.
And then the other one is, why do I look forward to my work week more than to weekends? And I mean, he actually gave a pretty good answer to this. He's like, believe it or not, some people love what they do so much that they really enjoy doing it.
They don't want to be home with their stupid family.
Yeah, I mean, so at least that answer wasn't demoralizing in some way. Yeah. He points out that with the question about, like, I'm not that hot for my person anymore, is like, well, there's a lot of reasons for that. You've been together. Yeah. Things change once you make a commitment to each other. Your relationship changes. He also points out, the pressure to start a family, because, by the way, are you guys talking about that?
Your biological clock is ticking.
Tick, 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 tick. So that could cause it. And then the other hand, maybe you're just lazy, but also possibly your husband no longer takes the trouble to turn you on. Well, isn't that called marriage?
The question is, did he in the first place?
Yeah. And now because you're married now, and you no longer have the illicit fun of having sex.
I guess.
It's tough to be a woman in the 80s.
Wow. Yeah. Now, do you remember, since you were 14 when this came out, were you reading these types of things, like, in the bathroom?
I was, because my mom, of all of the things that my mom had, which was not much, she had a subscription to Cosmopolitan magazine. I find that amazing.
So you were being educated.
I read that shit cover to cover every month, and I was horrified and confused. And
well, that's what I'm saying. That especially, I keep wanting to say episode, and it's not an episode. Yeah. What is this?
Edition. Issue.
This edition?
Issue.
God, so
thank you.
Swiss cheese. Yeah. This particular issue is so confusing. Every article contradicts the article before. Every answer to every question is different than the ad on the like the page with the contraceptive and the birth control. Yeah. I mean the pregnancy test, like right side by side. This whole issue is very confounding and confusing, and
a lot of I took, because I kept saying, Eliza, I don't think we're going to do it. I don't know. I'm not finding anything. I can't seem to find the hook. I don't know what's going on with this magazine.
We've talked for 2 hours and 15 minutes?
And then you were like, I just think we should do it. And I was like, okay. So then I sat down over the last weekend and I was like, okay, I literally put a Post-it on every page. Let me go back through and look at the things I posted it and like try to narrow this down to a selection of, and I think that's what the problem was. Everything is a contradiction.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And it was go girl, stop girl.
Right.
In the same magazine.
Yeah. It's
Reach
not even
for
really
it,
good.
But then when you get it, it's going to suck.
It's not even really good nostalgia. Like when we looked at the 72 one, it was such fun nostalgia. It's like silly and goofy. And can you believe we were this way? This isn't even fun nostalgia. It's like, oh God, is this really where we were? Is this really how this started? Is this what our moms went through, what our friends went through, what our cousins went through, what we went through? It sucks.
It sucks. Like it. So yeah, I'm gonna go on eBay and get the 1992. Hey supers, can you believe this nonsense? This is ridiculous. I don't know how you women do it. Yeah, I don't know either. We're very confused as well, dear.
Always.
So I mean, we really would love to hear from everybody. You know what your thoughts were. Were you alive in 1992? And like,
yeah.
Are you seeing the roots of where we are?
I definitely see the foundation of what got us here.
I think 1992 is going to be really depressing.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
Now, 1992 is kind of an interesting place because it is the very beginning of the 90s. So we were still in very much this late 80s pop time, but we were turning very fast to something very different in 92.
And I think
things shifted culturally very quickly.
For you down south, it was really big. Like, I just recently saw a video, and I know you told me this was a thing, but I don't think I understood until I saw a video of a father proposing to his, I think she's like 17-year-old daughter with her purity ring.
Purity rings,
and then
promise necklaces. We called them promise rings and purity. And we had pledges we had to sign.
Yeah, we didn't do that up here.
I bet. Yeah, and it was awful.
It's kind of like the poop knife. It really, I'm like, what? People, like, you told me. But seeing a home movie, this girl is like, I want to show you what actually happened. And by the way, this was so important that mom busted out the camcorder to capture this moment where my father proposed to me.
Right.
To give me my purity ring where I committed to my father.
Yeah, correct. That's correct.
Yeah.
Or to, again, like to a pastor or to your youth pastor or anything like that. You know, yeah, it was very normal. That purity culture was awful down here.
Yeah.
I mean, it was everywhere, but it was just awful.
It was everywhere, but I mean, like that to that level of like I didn't see that up here. I mean, in you know, in the 90s, I was in my
and can you
20s,
imagine that kind of place? Can you imagine the absolute just guilt you felt over normal teenage hormones and just normal teenage like dating things that were like, can you imagine like, oh, now I need to go, like I wasn't Catholic, so we didn't have, you know, confession.
Okay. We didn't confess
the need
that.
to repent, you know, after every date that you went on where you might have made out in the backseat. Oh God, no, I have to repent because I'm a horrible person for doing that. I've ruined myself for whoever my husband is in 10 years.
Yeah. No, like
not 10. It'd be like what, 3 years because I was expected to get married at 20.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm trying to figure out like how were we, you know? I mean, I went to Catholic school. I mean, basically, we were just, you know. I don't know. I think we were more. We weren't. I don't think we took it as far as you guys, but it also. I mean, it had to be happening. The purity culture had to be hitting us somehow. It had to be, unless we were all just hoeing around up here in the Northeast. I don't know.
Well, I mean, teenagers are going to be teenagers regardless of where you live and what your culture is. It's just how you're making them feel and process that very natural information.
Yeah. I mean, we were definitely ashamed of it.
Yeah, you had the Catholic guilt of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And
we thoroughly thought we were going to hell, and I was ruined for ages.
No, I just wouldn't. Yeah, I was going to hell, and also. You couldn't, you were supposed to confess it, but nobody confessed to it because we all kind of understood that the man on the other side of the screen was really hoping for the teenage girls to come and share their illicit feelings with him. That was not a secret. We would never tell a priest because we knew they were disgusting.
And
so we had that going on.
I feel like, I'm not going to say that's better. That's not the right word. I can't think of the right word, but I feel like, I guess your knowledge of that maybe is better because we did not know that the pastors were not safe. We did not know that the youth ministry was not safe, that these men who were in charge of these teenagers weren't. We didn't know that. That's why it's been so shocking to so many people. So, no, we were told that these were the godly men chosen by God to lead this flock. And, that's who you should confess everything to.
I think there's just so much. I mean, the Catholic Church has been around for so long and has been so plagued with scandal that I would be shocked if a Catholic told me they really believed that every priest was a good man.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh my God, are you actually that stupid?
Are
really
you Catholic or?
Yeah, I mean, do you know anything about the religion?
Yeah.
There's still Vatican City, which has enough money to basically cure everything about poverty for the whole world. Yeah. And they're not doing it. You do know that, right? But
that's a
whole other podcast.
It's a different podcast.
But yeah, so
I could go on and on for hours.
Oh my God, we could go on for hours, and we have been talking about like our fandom things, but also sharing some of our other experiences. I really want to do an episode about Grease, the movie.
Yeah.
Because you and I think that is another. There's a lot to explore there, and it's many good memories.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? That the Grease is it's a whole different juxtaposition of good memories and holy shit, why are we watching that?
Yeah. And why did anybody let us? And did my great aunt actually take 3 10-year-olds to go see Grease? Mm-hmm. And she told us all to lie and say we were 9 so she could get the kid price.
Awesome.
Yeah. I like that. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, why was she allowed to take us to see this movie? I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, so Liza, this was fun. Where can they find us on the internet?
We are on YouTube and Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We also have an Instagram and a Patreon. So please check those out.
Yep. And until we see you next time,
stay unmasked and overstimulated, everybody.
Bye.